Shalom everybody, shalom, shalom. Welcome to H2HDI. My name is Elder Joshua Malara, here to help you, equip you, and encourage you with the word of Yahuah this day. As I was working today, I was just thanking the Father. I was asking him after I got done working, I was saying, Father, I thank you for your word. I thank you for you separating me apart. Even though I'm going through this valley, through the valley of the shadow of death, you may feel like you're not feeling his presence, or you may not feel him at all, but yet you're going through it, because what he's doing right now in you is that he's equipping you. He's just taking out the old nature, the old Adam nature. He's making it manifest, so then therefore, when it manifests, it's like a weed. He weeds out that old man nature, and now he's going to start sowing his character, his nature, and his function within you. So therefore, you have the character of the Father to know how you're going to handle any waves of adversity coming your way. And as I was praying and I was just thanking the Father, I was asking him that he cleanses me with my the eye gate, my ear gate, my head, my walk. And what was interesting today was that I had a good day at work, and it was good because the Father, I was just saying, all right, Father, my body is tired, but yet I want to do everything decently and in order according to the measure that you have given me to be a good steward of at work. So we got to it, we got to do the work, and then we had an hour extra overtime. So what was amazing was that the Father was providing for things that he was demanding within my own spirit. And so I thank him for that. But what was interesting was that as I was praying and I just felt, I was like, man, Father, there's, as Amos said, there's a famine in the land that you placed, but not for bread or milk or meat or nothing like that or water. It's for your word's sake. And lately today I was asking the Father as I was coming home, worshiping, praising his name, saying you alone are worthy. Your name is above all names. Yahuah HaMashiach, Yahushua HaMashiach. It's to you in the outer court. If you were coming out and you're saying Jesus all your life, well, congratulations. You came out of the outer court, and now you're going to ascend more into the holy court. There's outer court, holy court, and holy of holies. But before you begin to walk into that next realm of the holy court, you have to go, as we were talking about the type and shadow of things to come. I've noticed is that as we were talking about the brazen laver, you become that animal sacrifice that the Father is looking, that you become the Word made flesh. You're exchanging the flesh man nature, and now you're going to have the spirit, the pneuma in Greek, or the ruach in Hebrew, for you to walk out and shoe leather day by day. But what's interesting is that you can't, once you come through the door of the tabernacle of the Father, and then you come into the brazen altar, then there's another furniture piece that you're going to encounter. That's called the brazen laver. And the brazen laver is a place where we always have that scripture says, we wash ourselves with the washing of the water of the word. And that is very true. You need the word to wash yourself from all the dust that you've accumulated, meaning, and I'm not talking about the outside, the literal earth dust. I'm talking about the dust of the earth that you begin to filter with whatever you see, whether you go outside of your house or whatever you're watching on TV. Mankind has a tendency to pollute himself to become the food, the flesh for the enemy. Because it's funny was that in the book of Genesis, when the serpent was cursed and after he tempted Eve and made her and her husband eat of the fruit, and I'm not saying it's an apple in the book of Genesis, what he did, the Father did, was that he cursed the serpent to be now traveling through on his belly. But everything that serpent now eats is that the dust that he eats is flesh. So now, what am I saying? I'm not talking about like earthly flesh, but snakes in the literal do that. They do eat flesh. But I'm talking about the flesh. Anytime we choose not to wash ourselves with the washing of the water of the word, and we choose to have a tendency to become fleshly, meaning this flesh that's enmity between us and Yahuah, we have a tendency as mankind to begin to produce meat for the enemy. But what's interesting is that you have to learn to wash yourself away from the dust of this earth, away from all this stuff, and you have a chance to. And what struck me was that as I was reading the brazen laver in Exodus chapter, let's turn there, Exodus chapter 30, verse 17. Exodus chapter 30, and we're going to begin there in verse 17. And it says, and this is the brazen altar, and it says, Yahuah spoke to Moses, saying, You shall also make a laver of bronze, with its base also of bronze for washing. You shall put it between the tabernacle of meeting and the altar, and you shall put water in it. For Aaron and his sons wash their hands and their feet in water from it, when they go into the tabernacle of meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister, to burn an offering made by fire to Yahuah, they shall wash with water, lest they die. So they shall wash their hands and their feet, lest they die. And it shall be a statute forever to them, to him and his descendants throughout all their generations. Now, it's not talking about a literal death right here. What he was saying is a spiritual death for you and I. If you begin to not wash yourself with the washing of the water of the word, Romans 12:2 is one that I want to emphasize on, but there's another scripture to it. They wash their hands, their face, and their feet. Their mind is the mindset of where we get the scripture, let this mind be in you that was also in Mashiach. The reason for this is because if we're not filtering our mind to renew our mind daily, to think on him, to meditate on the Father, then we can be veered off course to the left, just a little tad bit of a degree. It's like you're on a boat and you're trying to go from point A to point B, but if you get veered off 1 degree and then 20 clicks out, you're far off from where you need to be. And that happens because I have gone through that, and I'm still fighting to go back into alignment, because there's confinement, refinement, alignment for my assignment with the Father. So what's interesting was that if you look at the scriptures right there from verses 17 to 21, there was no measure given. And the reason why I'm saying that was because today somebody said this and I didn't catch it until after work. They said, water is your friend. And I was like, and this is me working when we were doing concrete work. He said, water is your friend. There's not amount of how much you need or how less you need it. Water is going to be your friend whenever you're doing this type of work, which is concrete. But what was interesting is that everything in this, the brazen altar, I want to read off the notes that we have right here, which is the Moses' tabernacle, which is notes from Shiliach Menachem Yah. We can send you a copy through Bet2Bet Ministries at yahoo.com for a seed of $25. I encourage you, get it. It's an investment that you're doing, not also in the kingdom, but into your own being. You're going to become the foundational piece, the cornerstone that the Father is using in this day and age, because he wants a remnant son to produce an image and likeness of who he is in this earth. And we can't do that because we never were taught the proper foundations. We were taught foundation in Hebrews 6:1, which is the fivefold ministry, and we stopped right there. We didn't pursue to go back to Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, Bereshit, Yahuah create bara, the Shemaims and the Eretz. I said that in Hebrew for you to illustrate that that was the foundation. The Father was creating, went Bereshit, Aleph Tav. The Father and the Son were creating the Shemaim, the heavens and the earth. And as you go a little bit further, you're going to start seeing more of why the Father was creating bara, Hebrew, and I'll put that on the lower third for everyone to see what that word means. And it means shape and form. He was shaping us and forming us back to the image and likeness of who he was before the foundations of the world. He knew that there was going to be a time of reconciliation. He knew that there was going to be a time and a season of uncovering, discovering, and recovering who we are in him. He knew all of this. That's why he said the tabernacle of Moses is a type and shadow of you and I coming into the perfection of who Mashiach, Yahushua, is in us. Just saying. Now let's go on a little bit. Let me just read a couple of these notes here. So it says, the brazen laver stands wonderfully, majestically between the brazen altar and the tabernacle. It was a highly polished, shined, and glorious piece of furniture, probably reflected the light of the fire on the brazen altar. Exodus chapter 38, verse 8 says, there were no measurements given concerning it, and it was made from the looking glasses of the women. Pay attention right here, the women. Now again, this is types and shadows of things to come. Why was it mentioned the women were giving looking glasses? Because women in the scriptures represent the nefesh, the soul realm in the scriptures. Anytime you read about a woman who was in alignment with the Father's will, she was the nefesh. Anytime you see a woman in the scripture that wasn't in alignment with the Father but was running amok, Jezebel, you can actually read she's the suke, the beast nature that didn't want nothing of the Father. Now you can see the balance here of why we here at H2HDI are emphasizing more why we need to have a balance of word within our nefesh, so then we're perfected in all three realms, the spirit, the soul, and the body. So now you can actually see it's a looking glass. It's a reflection. So when you look through the water and cleaning yourself, you're not only cleaning yourself from the dust and dirt. Get beyond that. You're looking at yourself being cleansed. You're seeing yourself in the scriptures, in the nefesh realm, being cleansed. So you live and move and have your being in Yahuah. That's why the Father's saying, no, I long for your soul. I long to desire you. Yes, you may have hits and misses. Yes, you may have made mistaken identity in parts and you may have fallen short of the esteem. But yet, as you continue to press in, you're going to start seeing that maybe you did that. So now you can see another aspect of the Father manifesting within the Word. Everything right here is a reflection of who you and I are this day, this night, this evening, whatever time frame, whatever time zone you're watching. Now listen. The laver contained water for cleansing. It was for the priest. They alone had access to it, and it was the stature to them forever. Exodus chapter 30, verse 21. And I'll read it again. So they shall wash their hands and their feet, lest they die. And it shall be a statute forever to them, to him and his descendants throughout their generation. They were to wash the hands and feet as they went into the tabernacle to minister unto Yahuah, or as they went to the brazen altar, the ministry unto man. So you see everything we do when we're ministering to man, when we're ministering to ourselves, and we're ministering to the Father, there has to be a cleansing, a sanctification in all three realms, to Yahuah, to our souls, and to man, and vice versa, to man, to our souls, to Yahuah. That's the cleansing agent that we have, which is his word. And I'm not trying to say it's the literal, the natural of the word. Yes, that's true. That's the Logos realm. But as you ascend higher, then you're going to begin to eat and partake of the daily bread that the Father is speaking to you and I this day. That's why Yahushua said, give us this our daily bread, because he was speaking in the realm of the Kadosh, the Rhema, the Ruach, the Holy of Holies, because he said, I want you to have the word of my Father in you. So when you're eating the daily bread, the daily manna, you're taking and receiving the nutriments of what my Father has spoken to you this day. It's a living word, not a dead word. That's what, oh my God. That's why I had a hard time growing up in the church realm, because I said if the living word and everything from Matthew or from Acts all the way to Revelation was speaking about the Torah, the first 5 books, and it was the word, maybe we need to go back into the Old Testament. I have said that through years and years of countless teachers who I thought were master teachers, but then I started realizing they're not master teachers. Because if they were master teachers, they would have been good stewards to understand that the old and new were already echad, one, but yet they didn't want to see the finished work from the end. They wanted to see the finished work from the beginning, causing them to stumble, because the Father is the only one who can put the end from the beginning and turn it into covenant. They don't want to see covenant. They want to see salvation in 3 realms. Common salvation, the book of Jude. Great salvation, the book of Acts, and then eternal salvation, the book of Hebrews. Or if you're a good scholar, you can actually see it in the realm where eternal salvation was already in the book of Acts, and yet great salvation was in the book of Hebrews. Why? Because you're crossing over from Jesus to Yahushua. You're not going to stay in the realm of the outer court where you're being tossed by every wind of doctrine. You're going to the fire, you're going to the water, the brazen laver, and you're getting tossed by every wind of doctrine in between. And then you get your robes all messed up. I know what I'm saying, because when I was in when I was in Bible college, that's what was going on in my bachelor's program. I was getting tossed by super soul people thinking they were spiritual, and then I was getting tossed by word people, and I'm talking about the mature saints who were raised in the word, that they said, no, that person's super soul, don't listen to them. And then I hear from the other extreme, no, they don't know, because this is the word of Yahuah, or the word of God, the Lord, that have showed me. Who are they? So I was tossed in that realm, but you can separate yourself, because the Father said no. James 1:21, James 1 verse 21, the engrafted word is able to save the soul. Let's turn there. And that wasn't even in my notes, but let's read it. James 1:21, and it says, therefore, lay aside all filthiness and overwork of wickedness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But be doers of the word, and not only hearers, deceiving yourselves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man observing his natural face in a mirror. So remember what I said. The mirror, right there, the word is for you and I to encounter the Father. It's not for us to just read and have a thought and ideology and have a philosophical mindset of the Father. He wants us to learn to do the word, to read the word, and to be cleansed with the word. And I'm going to finish up with this. The reason why is because if we don't cleanse ourselves, then we're going to be held accountable. Why didn't you cleanse yourself when you had the time, when you had the season to wash yourself, take away the old man nature, the old robes, and actually have robes of righteousness? And then we're over here stuck saying, oh, Father, well, what happened was, and we give all these excuses because we lack desire. And that's really the case right there. So with that being said, mirrors are used to look at oneself. We often look in the mirror to improve our appearance. The women who gave the mirrors demonstrate that which speaks of self-sacrifice and devotion. So the women, the Nefesh realm, and I'm going to switch it right here, our Nefesh knows to self-sacrifice and to be devoted unto Yahuah. And we don't do that today because we only have devotions in the church realm that actually just makes us feel good. But if you're an outer court babe, that's completely fine. I'm not calling you a babe. I'm calling you, if you know your identity and you know you're an outer court baby that still is drawing from the mother, the apostle, the father, the apostle, and the mother, the prophet, and you're still being, drawing from them the word, then you're still a babe. But as you grow more in the scriptures and grow more in the kingdom, then you move from napios, to a podion, to a teknon, to a weos, a fully furnished son, not lacking any furniture piece within their own being. Why? Because they know how to separate their soul from the things that they crave in the spirit. So until we see each other again, just want to thank you. Want to encourage you to continue to subscribe, like, and share for more content. And you're welcome to come back and watch more of our archives. We have archives such as Hail Zeus Krishna, a very powerful, I still get challenged to hear it. It's a very powerful segment, and it takes you to the origins of the name Jesus Christ and how it became a crisis this day. And if you understand what I'm saying, it's because every time you pray in the name of Jesus Christ, you produce a crisis. Why? Jesus Christ ain't his name. We've been saying that name for the past since 1611, the first print of the King James Version Bible. But yet in that time frame, it was pronounced Isus Christos. And if you look right there on the board, you can actually see Christos replaced Mashiach, 4899, and that's the Hebrew lexicon. And it also replaced Jesus, Greek 2424, replaced Hebrews 3091 and Hebrews 1954. So 3091 took you to Yah, Yah, Yah. And then 1954 took you to Yahushua. So in Psalm 68 and 4, you see the poetic name of the Father, Yah. And then his son's name, Yahushua. So one meant that the Father, his name, Yahuah, is salvation or covenant. And then Yahuah is covenant. And then you look at his son's name, Yahushua, salvation sent back for mankind to be drawn back into covenant, Echad, one with the Father. So until we see each other again, just want to thank you, welcome you to H2HDI. Once again, my name is Elder Joshua Malara. Just want to encourage you and equip you on how to stay in tune with the Triune Yahuah, the Father, Yahuah the Son, and Yahuah the set-apart Spirit, the Ruach Kadosh. So until we see each other again, don't forget to hit the like, the share button. We have archives such as our TerrorBites, hosted by Apostle. I don't even like using the Apostle. I like using Sheliak. There's just something about it. There sounds more strength to it. Sheliak, Menachem Yah, Robert Gonzalez, where he encourages you how to become a threat, a terror, and a revenger to the kingdom of darkness. Amen. We also have our Sabbath live stream every Saturday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. I encourage you, please get your pens, your papers ready for notes, because we're on a one-way express on how to stay Echad, one with the Father, understanding more the covenantal rights of what has been imparted into us by His servant Son this day. So until we see each other again, don't forget we have a more segment, another series called by our beloved Nebi, seer Virginia Gonzalez. Although she is absent of the body, she is in the presence of Yahuah, but yet she has drawn from the Father, drawn from His Spirit to encourage you and to equip you each day. Always, as she said at the end of her segment, always put a smile on, but for you to always bring praises to Yahuah. So until we see each other again, shalom.